Hi, and welcome to Beyond the Empty Nest. My name is Catherine Brooks, and I am a Greek American who recently, in the last 5 years, started traveling to Greece extensively. My next trip is planned, and I thought I would give you all some pointers on first-timers traveling to Greece, what you should know, where you should go, and the perfect itinerary. Now, you do want to see Athens. Don't let anybody tell you not to see Athens. Athens is incredible. So much history, so much to see. I would recommend at least 3 days in Athens. And don't rent a car in Athens. It's craziness. Then I suggest you hit the islands. The island I recommend to go to for first-timer is Santorini. Santorini is more expensive than the other islands, but it's definitely magical and worth seeing. When I went there, my jaw hit the ground. It was so magical, so incredible, like heaven on earth. It's just gorgeous. It's a volcano, so it sits on the caldera, and it just is just so beautiful. When you think of Greece, Santorini is the postcard you always see. The church with the blue dome. Don't expect a lot of blue domes because the blue domes are the churches. Now, believe me, there are churches. There are a lot of churches in Greece. Little ones, big ones, everywhere. Greece is Greek Orthodox, and they very much still practice the Greek Orthodox religion there. So the churches are very, very all over the place. Now, Santorini has a couple places that you may want to stay. Ia, if you're looking out to the ocean, Ia is on the far right side. Ia is more expensive. Ia is where it's happening. Ia is where the crowds go. Ia is where people go for the sunset. However, my cousins who have been there many, many, many times, as I said, I come from a big fat Greek family. My DNA is almost completely Greek. My cousins recommended staying in Meravigli. And Meravigli was magical. It's on the highest point in the caldera. You can walk to Fira, which has a lot of shopping and stuff. And you can also walk to, if you want to, you can walk to Ia, where all the other stuff is going. But the hotels will call you a driver, will drive you, will pick you up from the port. The restaurants will drive you back. They will get a driver for you. It's very convenient, so you do not need to rent a car, in my opinion. So when you leave the United States, odds are you're going to change planes somewhere on the East Coast if you're not from the East Coast. There's a lot of flights from JFK, nonstop to Athens, and other East Coast cities. Also, Chicago. American Airlines has a great flight from Chicago on the Dreamliner 787. Fly about 10 hours to Athens, and I highly recommend you get to Athens late morning or early afternoon. Now, these flights are a little more expensive specifically for that reason because they know. Ideally, you want to get to Athens early enough because I recommend doing Athens on the back end. So then hopping a flight from Athens after you go through customs, hopping a flight from Athens to Santorini. It's quick, it's fast. Aegean Airlines does an amazing job of they even passed out water bottles and snacks. Like an American airline would be like, nope, too short. We're sitting in our jump seats the whole time. They were very cordial, very, very, Greece is amazing. The people are lovely. They are just so welcoming, and they just adore having us there. So once you're in Santorini, you can ferry to one of the other islands as your second stop. My last trip, we did Milos. Milos was about a 2.5-hour ferry ride on the fast ferry. We can talk about the ferries in another video, but go to ferryhopper.com and you could book your ferry, or you can do it while you're there. From there, you could hop over to another island. We did Paros. I recommend staying in any island you go to no less than 3 nights. 4 would probably be better. 5 would be ideal. Don't stay 2. We stayed 2 in Paros, and I felt like I literally had no experience at Paros. It was so magical, so beautiful. And then across from Paros is another island called Knossos. Knossos I have not been to Knossos yet, but it is on this trip. This trip I have coming up in September of 23. We are going to do Santorini for 3, Knossos for 5. Then we are going to go back to the mainland of Greece. We're going to rent a car, drive through the Peloponnese region, and then stay in Athens for 3 nights. So we'll stay 3 nights somewhere in the Peloponnese, 3 nights in Athens. There's several sets of islands in Greece. But this is the Cyclades. The Cyclades is where Santorini, Milos, all the biggest tourist destinations you're going to hear, Mykonos. Honestly, I have not been to Mykonos, but these other islands are incredible. And everything I've watched online about Mykonos, it's very overpriced. And it's the party island. But Paros was very party-ish. They were partying in the streets. They have so many great. It's a hidden gem, seriously. And I have a video on that right here, our vlog to Paros and our whole last trip. Now, there's the other set of islands on the other side of Greece, the Ionian Sea. You can go to Kefalonia, you can go to Zakynthos, Lefkada. I thought the water over there was more clear and warmer. I've gone in the same time of year to both, and it was magical. And I did that one before I did Santorini. However, I am recommending that you first trip to Greece, you do the Cyclades, and then next time go back and do the Ionian side, which is where these other islands are. Lefkada, Zakynthos, Kefalonia, and then Corfu is a little bit out of the way, but it is beautiful as well. And I have not been there, but it is on my list. I need to go there. And people say it's amazing, just amazing. So that's my tips for getting around Greece and what itinerary would be perfect for your first time. Please consider subscribing to Beyond the Empty Nest. I will be bringing you my vlogs, my trips to Greece. There's a bunch on here already. Information that you need to know to travel to Greece. Stuff I had to ask thousands of questions and do lots of research for myself. I'm an empty nester and I love traveling with my friends and family. And here's a few video clips. And please consider subscribing. Leave a comment if you have questions that you would like me to cover, because like I said before, there's information you need about getting euros, traveling, where to go, how to get from place to place, all that kind of stuff. So I'd love to help you if I can. It's all learned for me by trial and error and asking lots and lots of questions to my Greek cousins. Thanks again for watching Beyond the Empty Nest. Like a still picture? In the cove on the windy day, and there's no wind in the cove. It's awesome. Craziness out there going. There's that dang orb again.